Nice and simple, comfortable couch while watching this trial. What's not to love about having a life like Monokuma? Anyways, welcome to the third class trial. I don't think I need to explain the rules because I already explained it twice and you already probably know how it goes. So instead of me blabbering, why don't we just start with the trial?
Not yet, Monokuma. There are still a few things we need to know before we start.
What? What is there to know? You guys already know the rules.
What I mean is, some information about this entire trial. Like, for example, since Mike and Lolbit are the victims of this case, does that mean we need to focus on both murders?
Ah, right. I guess you guys haven't been in a double murder before, so might as well I say it, so... Do not worry. You can only focus on one murder, and that murder is the first person you found. Between the two. You know what I mean?
So, does that mean we only need to focus on Lolbit's murder?
That's not fair. Mike needs to get his justice too, you know. Relax. Just because I said you need to focus on Lolbit's murder doesn't mean Mike's murder is an option. You can go around Mike's murder, but again, that one is more optional for Lolbit, but Lolbit is the main case. So let me try to run down something. So if we do find Lolbit's murder, but Mike's murders somebody else, that means that the murder of Mike would not be executed, correct? Precisely that! That's bullshit! Bullshit, sure, but I guess that's how it works. Alright, are there any other questions about this, or are we gonna finally move on?
I have one.
Oh, great.
Monokuma, what the hell is wrong with your Lolbit Monokuma file? It's broken! Everything except for the name and talent are crossed out!
Well, you stupid little cup. If the Monokuma file is crossed out, that means that Lolbit's murder itself is a mystery for you to solve. So yeah, I did not butcher those stupid things, and it's just how it works.
Okay, Monokuma, I have one more question, but it's really irrelevant to the case. But isn't Sunflower meant to sit next to Sheldon?
Well, no, she isn't. Because here's the thing, originally, Sunflower was supposed to sit next to Yellow, but during that trial, she swapped seats with Lolbit to comfort herself from the murderer. But then I guess she somehow forgot about that whole thing and decided to sit next to Sheldon throughout the entire trial. So I decided to place Lolbit's portrait there, so then Sunflower can remember where she actually supposed to sit. Anyways, I guess we can now start the trial, huh? Sure, I guess. Aw, don't be sad, son kid. Think of it this way. If you find the murderer, you can get some justice. Oh, I know what you're worried about. Here, let me help ya. Just give me a sec, and there. See? Now Cameron's part of the trial. Just like how you always remembered him.
Was that really necessary?
Yeah, that was a little stupid. Well, sorry. I just want to get this trial started. I'm so hyped. Now then, let the third class trial commence. Good luck. All right. So, this is the third trial. And this time, we're doing this without Cameron. This is gonna be complicated. And I think everyone else has that same mindset. No one is speaking. Everyone is quiet. Aw, come on, guys. Are you guys already giving up?
No, we're just thinking.
Why don't we just start with the Monokuma files?
What?
You know that Lolbit's is crossed out, right?
I'm talking about Mike's Monokuma file, not Lolbit's. Maybe we can get something out of there, the Mike's Monokuma file. And I think most of you know what I'm talking about.
What does Agumon mean by that? Let me think. Wait a minute. Agumon, are you talking about the Mike's Monokuma file as in the people who discovered the body?
Ha! Someone's catching on. Let's talk about the Monokuma file from Mike in terms of the body discovery announcement.
that is a good idea. But even if so, for some reason, something that Agumon is saying about the Monokuma file isn't really right. It's like, I try to piece the evidence together, but maybe I'll explain myself when I see if I can counter something. Cameron, it's time for me to take your place for a bit and solve this murder for you. Let's do this.
So, with the Monokuma file number 4, it's stated that the people who discovered the body were Chalice, Ketchup, and Sunkid.
So, does that mean they're innocent?
So Miss Chalice, Ketchup, and Sunkid are innocent? I mean, how Agumon points it, that has to be the case. So yeah, I guess us 3 are innocent. Huh?
No, that's wrong! I like to apologize first before saying this, but Chalice, Agumon, I think that's kind of incorrect in a way.
Wait, what?
Wait, how? We were in the body discovery announcement.
Yeah, what are you driving at, son kid? Why are you pretending to be Cameron all of a sudden? Don't lose your focus, just focus. Hey. Don't get freaked out. Cameron didn't freak out when someone responded to him back. Don't do the same thing. Right, okay. Chalice, Agumon, the reason I think that's kind of incorrect is because while yes, we did discover Mike's body, that doesn't mean we are innocent from Lolbit's murder.
Wait, but that's so stupid though.
You know, actually, now that I think about it, I was thinking something similar, but I didn't know somebody else had a brain. Thanks. But anyways, with that, I still think we can't clear everyone just yet. The only thing we can clear is that me, Ketchup, and Chalice did not kill Mike. But we still don't know anything about Lolbit. So instead of trying to find people who are clear from the people who died, let's take it slow.
When did you get all this brain power?
Look, I'm just trying my best, okay? And not gonna lie, you're doing pretty good. Really? Yeah, but don't get sidetracked. Let's still focus.
So now that we know that, where do we actually begin?
Well, I guess since Lolbit's one was the first one to be found, and because of her crime being more of a mystery, why don't we just start with that?
Yeah, you're right, sweetie. Alright, so what do you guys want to talk about first? Lolbit's potential murder weapons, or Lolbit's body in the cabinet?
That's a good question. And a tough one, too. Especially for the fact that her body was somehow in the cabinet, yet there was no any leaks of her blood or anything.
Well, I mean, she is a robot, so I don't think she can bleed. You okay, darling?
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Okay. I mean, I guess that means we can't start off with Lolbit's body in the cabinet.
You know what? That's a topic we should talk about next. If anything, if we figure that out, we might get closer to Lolbit's mystery solving. Yeah, I think you were right. So, alright everyone, let's talk about this. Right. Let's go.
Yeah, Lolbit's murder is a little too complicated.
There really isn't a lot of evidence for Lolbit's murder. Her death was quick and simple.
But despite that, there are still plenty of stuff that were used during the crime scene.
But that still leaves the question. How did she die in the cabin? Huh? No, that's wrong! Wait a minute. I'm starting to realize maybe something about that is wrong. Wait, but I just asked a question.
Sun Kid, what are you getting at?
I know it's a bit of a stretch, but what if she didn't die in the cabinet? I'm sorry, what? Huh?
Sun Kid, could you elaborate?
I mean, you guys could see yourself, right? How would she die in the cabinet? There's no way to set up any trap at her or anything. Plus, even if there was a trap in the cabinet, what could have possibly caused a wound that would be, from what we saw in the Monokuma file?
Oh, right. Wasn't her body completely, damaged or something?
Yeah, and apparently that was still leading us to nowhere. Or is it though? Because if I think about it, it might be leading us to something. I just need to remember one piece of evidence. One evidence that I looked upon during the bathroom and mix it all together. Okay, Sun Kid. Think. Lovit's body was in the cabinet, and with the evidence you found in the bathroom, there might be something that leads to the fact that Lovit didn't die in the freaking cabinet. And you somehow know this, but you can't remember. Come on. What other evidence is there that proves that where Lovit died? Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Alright. Believe it or not, I actually figured out something. You did? Well, could you tell us what it is? I think it's kind of obvious, but I figured out where Lobit died.
You did? Then tell us, Sun Kid, where did Lobit actually die?
Now, I will admit, this piece of evidence I'm about to say is a little bleak, but I'll try my best to give it a great explanation. Lovit's actual place of murder was still in the bathroom, but she died in the shower. Huh? She died in the shower?
How is that possible, though?
I think it's pretty obvious. Lobit is a robot. And what happens if you combine electricity with water? Or simply put, what happens if you throw a toaster into a bathtub? I don't know. Your bread gets all soggy? Are you trying to be stupid? What? I'm just trying to be funny.
Wait, Lobit died because of her malfunctioning in her electrical system?
That's exactly it. I mean, what else can explain the Monokuma file? And the fact that Lobit's murder was a mystery. And the fact that her body in the Monokuma file was completely covered in pink. Nothing else makes more sense other than the fact that her entire body was wounded because she was covered in water.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, maybe that's the whole person behind.
Except, here's the biggest problem. If the killer really did kill Lolbit by showering her with water, how would they take Lolbit's body and drag it towards the cabinet?
Lobit is actually pretty light for being a robot due to her size, so is that really a question?
Yes, in fact, it is. As much as I hate saying it, I agree with Ketchup. You see, the thing is, yeah, I see where Ketchup's going, but I do know where you're going too, Sun Kid. But yeah, Ketchup is kind of right. If the culprit tried to take Lolbit's dead corpse from the shower, they would get electrocuted.
Sadly, yeah, that is the truth.
See, somebody gets it. So Sun Kid, do you have a counter for that? Not yet, but I think I do have something in mind. Well, you better spill it out soon, Sun Kid, because we don't want to die. Don't worry, I got this. All right, time to fully think. Maybe for once during this trial, I think it's time to finally agree with some people. I gotta hear them out first. Here we go. I'll ask this question one more time. If the culprit really did kill Lolbit using the shower, how would they drag her body out of the shower? If they try to do that, they would be electrocuted by Lolbit's circuits.
So that means the culprit must have had something with them?
Maybe a pair of rubber gloves? That would prevent them getting electrocuted.
But there weren't any rubber gloves in the crime scene.
Maybe they had something else with them. Yeah, maybe like some sort of rope?
I agree with that. Oh shoot, right! Son kid? Cabby, thank you so much for reminding me.
Huh? Oh, you're welcome, son kid.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Did she answer your question? Yes. In fact, Amy, Sunflower, I, and Cabby know about this little item.
Wait, is he talking about?
Amy? Hey, Cabby, could you pull that red ribbon out of your, cabinet, please?
Oh, yeah, of course. There it is.
A red ribbon? What is this? Now I know exactly what could have possibly happened. Though, for this one, hold on, Monokuma, I know we can't leave the trial, but can we leave our seats just for a minute? Sure, just don't leave the trial, okay? Okay, I need a demonstration from somebody.
Ooh, can I help?
Of course, Chalice. Any help would be gratefully welcome. Okay, here's what you have to do.
All right.
First, hold the ribbon like this.
Uh-huh.
Hold both sides with your both hands.
Oh, sorry. Like this?
Yeah. Now throw the ribbon that it aims straight towards behind me.
I don't know why you want me to do this, but okay.
Now, pull the ribbons together, close to each other, and then push it toward yourself as hard as you can.
I don't know where you're going with this, but...
Yeah. Wow! Ow! Ow!
Oh, now I get it. Oh, sorry, son kid.
No, I need a thank you. You kind of proved my point, so thanks, Chalice.
No problem, son kid.
Okay, hold on, so let me get this straight. The culprit used the red ribbon to drag Lolbit out of the shower room.
Yeah, you saw how Chalice put that demonstration on me. If the culprit could use the red ribbon like this, then surely
your fortune has been denied!
Huh? Amy?
I'm sorry, son kid, but I have to disagree. Not just for the shower and for the red ribbon, but maybe the whole bathroom itself.
But Amy, we investigated the shower room. What makes you think that this is all wrong?
I know it is, but there's something that just kind of doesn't feel right with me. Just hear me out. But I'm starting to think that maybe Lolbit didn't die in the bathroom. Maybe she died somewhere else.
Would you like to explain?
Yes, please. Just give me a chance to speak.
Okay, but I'll have to counter you if you get something wrong, okay?
All right, just hear me out. I get it. All the evidence that lead to Lolbit's murder are in the bathroom, just like Lolbit's body in the cabinet. But I still can't seem to believe that the shower was used to kill Lolbit. Sure, the red ribbon was used like a lasso, but is there anything else?
Do you remember, Amy, I mentioned about the shower glass. There was a dying message in the shower glass, but the culprit erased the message or the drawing so then they can prevent themselves from being suspected. And with the red ribbon mechanism thing, where else could have been possibly used?
Okay, you have a fair point, but I guess the reason I'm asking this whole thing is because why would Lolbit enter the bathroom? I know Lolbit from experience because of Red, and I know that as a robot she doesn't like going to the bathroom. She wouldn't even use the shower at all. And I don't think Lolbit is gullible enough that will leave the killer to drag her there. So, if that's the case, why would Lolbit even put herself in that situation to begin with?
Allow me to break those words! Amy, I understand where you're coming from, but I know something that can prove that Lolbit did in fact die in the bathroom. Not to mention, that entire argument was a bit of a filler moment, how people would call it. Shut up, Ketchup.
So, what did I get wrong, son kid? What is the proof that Lolbit died in the bathroom? How did Lobit got alerted into the one room where there's a lot of water?
Now, to answer that question, I need to ask for someone's theory. If the context of this theory is exactly what I'm searching for, then maybe 2 theories can back me up for this. So, Red, you want to talk about your theory?
Huh? My theory?
Red, before we went to our own separate ways, after you investigated Mike's body, you said you had a theory for Lobit that you were gonna keep until this trial. I think now it's the right time to tell us what it is. Sweetie, you had a theory about Lobit?
Yeah, I just didn't know if I could say it right now since I kind of want to keep it as a last resort.
This is the last resort, Red. I don't think that it's really good enough to hide it anymore. Besides, if you don't say it, we might be running around in circles.
Yeah, we might get lost in thinking that Lolbit must have died somewhere else, but in reality, she must have died in the bathroom.
So I think it's really the time for you to tell us, Red.
Okay, I'll say it.
This theory is also kind of a testimony in a way.
What do you mean, darling?
What I mean is that while I have this theory in my head, the reason I came up with it was because of a testimony that I need to clarify.
Oh yeah? Well, what is it?
Well, I'll start with my testimony, so then I can make my theory more clearer. During the nighttime, and Sunky can back me up for this, but before I went to my room, I was in the game room.
And Sunkid was there. Yeah, I was.
Okay, thanks. Now, after the nighttime announcement played,
This is what happened.
God, I'm tired.
Huh? Lolbit? Eh? Oh, hi, Red. Is there anything you need?
No, it's just, our dorm rooms are over there.
Yeah?
You're not going to bed?
No, I'm gonna stay up a bit.
Lolbit? Don't tell me you're... No, you got it wrong.
I'm not gonna kill anyone. I swear. Like, come on, Red. You know I wouldn't do this. I mean, sure, I look like someone would do it, but you knew me for a while now. You know I wouldn't do it, right?
No, you're right. I believe you. It's just... I still find it a little scary that you want to stay up all night. If you're not gonna murder, could you at least tell me why are you staying up all night?
Lolbit? Red, be honest with me. Was I useless?
Huh?
I was useless. I mean, I'm just asking because, like, throughout this game, I wasn't really even doing anything. I wasn't helping you guys try to escape. I wasn't trying to solve murders with you all. I didn't solve any trials. And now Cameron is poisoned, and the handbook, our only source of freedom, is stolen. And I just feel like I've done nothing.
Lolbit, you're not useless. You're my friend.
But is that really counts as being useful? Yeah, thought so. Red, look. I promise you, I'll be okay. But I want to find the person behind the stolen antidote and the stolen e-handbook. Please, Red. Let me be helpful for once. You know, sometimes I see you as my idol, because you're such a valuable hero to everyone. I want to be like you. I want to help. So, please, let me help you. I'm begging.
Lolbit. Just be careful, okay?
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
And just like that, I left her alone. But I shouldn't have. I should have told her to stay in her room. If I did, then she wouldn't have died. She would be still alive. But I couldn't persuade her. She wanted to be helpful.
Lobit, you didn't need to. Red, that didn't really answer Sunkit's question. Does your testimony have something to do with the theory of Lobit being in the bathroom?
As a matter of fact, I think it is.
Then tell us, darling.
Okay. Lobit chased the person who stole the e-handbook and the antidote.
Huh. I mean, yeah, that seems really logical.
Not to mention, that kind of backs up my own theory too.
It does?
Yeah. It means that the culprit is the person who stole the e-handbook and the antidote.
I'm glad that we both reached a common ground.
Okay, that's it. Seriously, I've been hearing you guys talking about this weird e-handbook thing. Like, what are you guys talking about? What e-handbook? I'm really curious.
None of your business, Monokuma.
It's just someone's stupid e-handbook we decided to steal from one of our dead classmates. That's it.
A stolen e-handbook from a classmate that is dead. And what makes you think that I won't fall into any sort of suspicion?
Monokuma, what other e-handbooks could we possibly reach out? I don't even think you can even give us access to some random ass e-handbooks out of nowhere.
Okay, that's fair. Alright, continue with your trial.
That was easy.
Alright, so thanks for clearing that out, Red. So now that we know where Lolbit actually died, I guess we can conclude. Huh? Ketchup? Why is he staring at me like that? It's creeping me out. Whatever. So what now? Is this it for Lolbit?
Wait, hold on. What about the time of death?
Okay, yeah, we did discuss about the fact that Lolbit did die in the shower, and the culprit used the red ribbon to, drag them into the cabin without getting themselves electrocuted. But that still doesn't answer who discovered the body and when did Lolbit die.
Do you think we should probably focus on that?
Listen, Knuckles, I don't think there's not enough evidence to point out when Lolbit died and who discovered Lolbit's body. But what we can do is we can save it for later and just focus on Mike's death for now.
Sunkit, do you think that's a good idea?
We have to give it a try. We can't just jump to conclusions like this. We don't want any false accusations or misunderstandings. We need to find the culprit, and that's that.
Yeah, I agree with Sunkit. We can't just falsely jump to accusations just like that. If we were to find the culprit, we need to pay close attention to every piece of evidence, including the times of death. So let's save Lolbit's time of death and people who discover the body of Lolbit for later, and let's focus on Mike. Okay, and from my memory, Rad, Agumon, Chalice, Knuckles, and Sunkid, after investigating Lolbit's body, searched up Mike. So, do you guys know what you found?
Well, why don't we start with the obvious?
The obvious?
Yeah, the arm blade that we found in the crime scene.
Oh yeah, that bloody arm blade.
Oh, Knuckles!
What? What do you want?
Last time I checked, didn't Amy and Red said in the last trial that the only weapon you ever used was an arm blade?
And that you said that arm blade was yours when we found it?
Wait a minute. Are you blaming me for the murder?
No, we're just suspecting. That's it.
That's even worse. You're suspecting that I did this entire thing? Okay, look. I get it, okay? My arm blade was used at the crime scene, but I didn't commit this murder because I cannot do everything that was part of this entire murder.
Are you trying to get yourself out of this situation, Knuckles? So you're just lying?
No, because let's get something established. Since now we know that the antidote and the e-handbook are part of this case, that means that I have to be a part of poisoning Cameron. But how would I be a part of poisoning Cameron when I literally wouldn't poison him? Heck, I didn't even know the fucking poison was in the medical room.
I mean, we can't really know for sure, Knuckles, that, sure, we can kind of think that you're innocent, but, about the poison thing, we can't be sure. Yeah, you could have just scrolled in there and found it somehow.
Sorry, Knuckles, that doesn't clear you from suspicion. Oh, come on! Listen, let's slow down, okay? We don't need to go super far just yet. While I can't clear Knuckles from suspicion, I have a gut feeling that it may not be him. I just don't have the evidence at the moment. Gee, thanks a lot. I'll help you. I promise. Just give me some time. Just stay on the suspicion list for now, okay? Fine. Okay, so ignoring the arm blade for now, let's focus on other stuff that we found. Fine. What else was there? I'm not sure, but we will figure out during our conversation. So let's get to it.
What do we need to know about Mike's murder? Well, for starters, his Monokuma file is much more valuable to read.
Are you still on that?
Yep.
That aside, is there anything else that we need to know about this murder? It is still strange that Mike died at 7:09. It was like 9 minutes after most of us woke up.
Yeah, that is really strange. Especially because no one ever saw Mike. Huh?
No, that's wrong! Actually, Sunflower, there is a person who saw Mike alive before his eventual murder at 7:09.
Wait, someone did see Mike alive before he died?
Yeah, but it wasn't like as in saying, oh, the culprit saw them die. No, what I'm saying is, the person that saw Mike was alive. And I know this because they told me that they saw them alive in the medical room. And that person is... It can only be you. Don't worry, I'm not pinning you as a suspect, or as a culprit, but Amy, you saw Mike alive this morning, right? It was your testimony before we all started investigating.
Oh, yeah, I did see him.
Amy, I don't want to be harsh, but that kind of leads you as a suspect.
What?
Knuckles, don't do this. Sorry, Red, you just gotta go with the obvious. Oh, what's this? A potential accomplice is helping the culprit. Potential culprit. Did you guys forget that we're in a relationship? Look, I respect your two's relationship and all, but even so, that does still lead Amy to be a bit of a suspect. I mean, like some kid said, Amy did see, Mike alive before he died. So either Amy did kill him, or somehow did not even notice he was gonna die soon.
Probably the second option then, because I was in the cafeteria, or in the kitchen, sorry. I kind of back her up on that. Most of us were already in the cafeteria. Well, again, most of us.
And who, pray tell, is that most of us? Yeah, Cabby, you never actually told me this.
I guess I got sidetracked a bit. The people who were in the cafeteria at the time were me, Amy, and as unfortunate it is to say, Ketchup.
So, most of us were unactive?
Pretty much.
So I guess it's just down to you guys.
Wait, what do you mean?
Hello? We got cleared up because of the old handbook and antidote thing. I wouldn't steal my own handbook. It's our source of escape.
Okay, since we got almost everything cleared from basically finding out someone saw Mike alive, now that still leaves us with few questions. For one, other stuff that were found at the crime scene.
I mean, yeah, I think it's logical to go with those, but, which one do we go with first?
Well, maybe we could start off with either the slippery floor or the water bottle. A water bottle? Yeah, the water bottle that we found at the crime scene was a Vivia water bottle that was in between, or no, it was behind the, giant closet that was close to the left side of the wall. From the left direction as in where you enter it to the left. Okay. Well, believe it or not, I actually kinda know where that water bottle comes from.
You do? Tell us, please. I know you're always mean and hate us for some reason, but please, tell us, where did you know about that water bottle?
Aw, Sunflower, if you know what? Because you so kindly asked, I shall take your bidding. The way I found the water bottle is really simple. From my memory, the water bottle was actually in the kitchen in the snack drawer.
Oh, you mean where all those snacks were?
Yeah, it was hidden under most of the snacks, but the water bottle was there.
Do you want to explain why it was there, Monokuma?
Well, where else would I hide these bottles? You know, I can't always pay the fucking sewer bills or, pipe bills and everything. So, for water, in terms of if we run out of water in our sewage pipes, we just use these water bottles. But apparently, it seems like someone has found one bottle to use. Good on you.
Huh.
Okay, I know I shouldn't be talking because I don't really know about the crime scene since I haven't checked entirely, but what does the water bottle have to do with this case?
What does the water bottle have to do with Mike's murder? Let me think. What was it again?
I got it. The water bottle was used, for now we don't know what's the actual reason, but the way we know that the water bottle was used was because there was a slippery floor on the right side of the fashion room. Yeah, the right side of the fashion room was kind of drenched with water at some point because the floor is extremely slippy now. And luckily for you all, I have evidence to back it up.
You do, Knuckles?
Yeah, and that evidence is the wet towel that we found in the closet. Interesting. Though I have a question. How do you know that the towel was used beside being wet? You know, it being wet isn't just an excuse, because we can't confirm it was wet. Well, luckily for you, I've broken the code that will prove that the towel was used. Sun Kid, you know what I'm about to say, so go right ahead, say it for me. Why do you want me to say for you? Whatever. What is Knuckles trying to tell me? What did Knuckles say during that investigation? I got it! Knuckles, when you found that towel, you said that the towel wasn't organized like the others, right? Correct. That means that the culprit must have used the towel.
Wait, that's kind of confusing.
Yeah, which is why we're gonna ask the person behind this. Monokuma, what do you want? Is this time for a scrum debate or something? I think we're pretty much in really good debate right now, so I think we're good for now. Though, I do need to ask for Knuckles. Thank you. Do you keep your clothes, or whenever you finish your, clothes thing, cleaning them for us and everything, do you keep them organized? What kind of question is that? Of course I keep them organized. Why wouldn't I? It's very nice to have a very simple, polite, and balanced sheet of towel. Towel tower. I could say that 10 times fast. Towel. Okay, I think you proved our point. Thank you, Monokuma.
So, if I'm understanding this, Knuckles found a towel that was not organized as the others, and that means that the culprit must have been using that towel to cleaning up the water?
That seems logical to me, at least. Great. Now we figure that out. Yeah, that's cool and everything, but that doesn't really prove much. Huh? What do you mean?
What does he mean?
I mean, I kind of see where he comes from. I mean, not a lot of evidence point to most of us. I mean, if anything, all the evidence are just pretty much natural or neutral. I don't know how you say it. The point is, what I'm trying to say is, we didn't really clear anyone from suspicion.
We get it!
No, I was gonna say that the people who didn't kill Mike were Chalice, Ketchup, and Sunken, okay? We know that, okay? That's some alibis.
But again, it doesn't clear us from suspicion for the entire murder. Remember, our main priority is to find Lolbit's killer, not Mike's.
I still find that fucking unfair.
I'm trying to think.
Of course you are. Everyone was silent. I guess we really didn't have a discussion.
Guys, why aren't you saying anything?
We don't know where to go now. Should we go back to looking for Lolbit's time of death?
I guess we could try, but we don't have anything to go off of.
I mean, I know we need to make sure that we find the right evidence and the real time of death and everything, but I don't know.
Knuckles? You can say it if you want.
Look, it's just, I think Lolbit's time of death really doesn't matter.
What makes you say that?
No, guys, come on, listen to me. Do we even know anything about, we know about Mike's murder, 100%. But, let's be honest, if the culprit really, killed Lolbit after Mike, then wouldn't they get caught? So, from the logic of what we've got so far, from the time of death of Mike to basically most of what we got so far, what I can see from this entire murder is that Lolbit died at night, and that's all I know.
But do we need to know the exact time?
As long as we know when Lolbit started chasing the person who, or the culprit who had the antidote and the e-handbook, like how Red and Cabby described, then sure, maybe we can then find a specific time of death. But for now, my biggest suspicion is that she had to have died at night.
I mean, yeah, that's honestly pretty logical.
Yeah, I mean, where else would she die? There's no way Lolbit could have died at the same time as Mike, unless the culprit is, Knuckles? But I don't want to jump to conclusions, so I don't think it's it. I mean, if you think about it, despite looking a little simple, this murder isn't exactly, baby level. If anything, this looks like something an expert would do, meaning...
Ooh, I want to play a trivia. Let me guess, for $800, you're gonna say that I am the culprit because I said in the last trial that if I were to kill someone, I would kill someone who would be stupid enough to not carry us through the entire trial. And your evidence is that I could have poisoned Cameron, who was my biggest target, get rid of 2 people who are pretty much other threats like Lolbit and Mike. And another final reason you think it's me is because this plan, the entire case thing, is way too organized. Am I correct?
Yeah. How do you know everything I'm gonna say?
You're predictable, Chalice! Look, I know you hate me. I know all of you hate me. But just because I'm a scumbaggy little shit doesn't mean that I will risk my life for all of you.
Fuck yourself.
Gladly. What?
Please stop. I don't want this. Let's just focus, please.
Okay, Sunflower. Let's just discuss everything what we know so far, alright, guys?
Yeah, maybe we should just do that.
Yeah, okay. Come on, let's talk about this. Alright, start talking. What did we find about this entire murder?
Well, we established that Lolbit must have died at night.
She was drenched with shower's water, and that's how she died.
Then the culprit used the red ribbon as a lasso mechanism of some sort.
And then we cut to this morning, where the culprit managed to kill Mike, and then proceeded to clean up the crime scene of somehow.
Huh? No, that's wrong? Wait a second. Something about that is confusing.
Wait, what? But it's true. Sarkit, what?
No, Knuckles, listen, I trust you, okay? I'm not saying that you were wrong about Mike getting killed there, but it's just... something about this is off.
Could you elaborate, Sunkid?
Gladly. It's about Mike getting killed.
Okay.
Listen to me, everybody. Look back at Mike's murder, at least for the people who saw the body. And I'm talking about you, Red.
Okay.
Don't forget about me.
Oh, right. Sorry, Agumon. Anyways, we saw those wounds on Mike's body. The giant mark on the back and the thin claw mark at the front. AKA on his eye. Okay, so what are you trying to get along with this? Knuckles, don't you see it? If the culprit somehow, killed Mike, wouldn't Mike scream in agonizing pain?
Oh, right! We haven't even talked about that! Or even thought of it! If that would have happened to me, I would have definitely be screaming my fucking guts out!
Well, maybe he must have been taped of somehow. But there was no tape in the crime scene.
But wait, then how did Mike stay quiet throughout the entire thing?
Yeah, I agree with Cabby. Even if the culprit closed the door, then Mike's screams would still be heard. So what caused him to be so fucking quiet?
If it wasn't the tape, maybe it was something else? Maybe the culprit drowned Mike using the water bottle? No, that wouldn't make any sense. He would still scream. It would be more painful, but he would at least scream. Come on, Sun Kid, come on. There has to be something that you remember that could lead you to somewhere. Come on, think. Think about it. Look back in the past. What could possibly cause the entire silence for Mike? It's like you had a feeling that you've seen this before, and maybe experienced it before. Wait a minute. I think I know why Mike was quiet.
Wait, Sun Kid?
Ooh, this is getting interesting. I want to listen.
I just want to point out that the reason that I think they caused Mike to be quiet maybe will lead him to be my biggest suspect at the moment. I'm not gonna say outright that they're the killer, but from the one piece of evidence that I found in the fashion room with the help of Red, I think I know who could be my biggest suspect for now.
Then tell us, who do you think killed Mike?
I'm not saying they killed Mike, but so far they're my biggest suspect. And that person who probably shut Mike up and maybe killed him could be none other than...
It has to be you!
The piece of evidence that I found that leads to maybe something to do with Mike's quietness as he was dying had to have belonged to only one person. And I hate to say it, but that evidence belonged to Sunflower!
What? Wait! What? Sunflower? No! Sun Kid! What do you mean by that?
Red, you can back me up for this, right? During our investigation in the fashion room, we found some yellow dust on the floor. The yellow dust. Right! Yeah, we found some yellow dust in the fashion room.
What yellow dust, darling?
Okay, I found some yellow dust in the fashion room next to that little drawer of socks. I take a close look at it, and then I sneezed, but after I sneezed, I zoned out.
You... what?
I zoned out. It was like my mind was completely empty. Like, I had no thoughts, I had nothing, and
It didn't affect me until Sunkit snapped me back to reality.
yeah.
No. What? I didn't kill them! Why do you think it's me?
Sunflower, you're the only person that could possibly do this with that dust. And
In fact, now that I know what I'm talking about, I think it makes sense that the only person who could have kept Mike silent was you.
I was not expecting this at all.
Please, Sunken, it's not me. Why? Why do you think it's me?
Because you're the only person who could create that dust. Because where else would it come from? We never saw any yellow dust in the house beside that one point. So it could only be you. Sunflower, I'm sorry. But just wait. I'm not saying you're the kid.
You're pulling off the wrong logic.
Sunflower, please listen to me.
No, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of all of you thinking that me and Sheldon are the bad guys. We're not. Why do you always bring the blame on us? I know that Sheldon wanted me to become better, but why would I stoop this low?
Sunflower, please. I understand that you're upset and panicking and everything. If I was in your shoes, I would do the same. But after thinking about it, with your yellow dust, it makes sense.
Yellow dust. It's always just about yellow dust, isn't it? Well, I'll show you that you're wrong. I didn't do anything. I did not kill Mike. I did not kill Lola. I didn't do anything. I didn't. Just watch. I'll prove you. Loban and Mike were such great friends. Why would I ever murder one of them? They kept my hopes up even after Sheldon's loss. Why would I even poison Cameron in the first place? He gave me confidence. And what does the yellow dust have to do with anything? Just stop mentioning it.
I know you don't have any beef with Cameron or anybody else, but it still kind of thinks it could be you. And the yellow dust must have belonged to you, because where else would it be? We never found any yellow dust during our entire life throughout this school. So that can only mean one thing. It must have been your pollen.
No, it has to be something else. Monokuma randomly brings in poison, right? So that means that the yellow dust must have been the same. And besides, even if it was for whatever reason my pollen, there's no reason to prove that it caused Mike to be silent. What evidence do you have? Tell me! No!
I'll smash through those words. Sunflower, the yellow dust was your pollen. And as for do I have evidence to prove that that was your pollen? As a matter of fact, I do.
What? Sunkid, what are you doing?
Sadly, telling the truth. The evidence I have that Sunflower's pollen, that yellow dust was Sunflower's pollen, was that I experienced that effect of it before.
Huh?
Ooh, busted. Shut up! Oh, God.
What do you mean you experienced it before?
It was when me, Cameron, and Sunflower and Lilbit, we were all in our own group, remember? You mean the Alliance? Yeah. Sadly, when Sunflower and Cameron were talking, she accidentally spilled out her pollen by sneezing. And when she sneezed, I got affected by it, and I zoned out for quite a bit, until Cameron shook me up a bit, and then I got back to normal.
So you know about the effect of the pollen already?
Sadly, yes. And Red, you can back me up, because during our investigation, you zoned out too. Yeah, we already established that.
So with all that evidence, that must mean one thing.
No.
Is she panicking?
Sunflower? Are you okay? You don't look so good. I did it. What? I killed him. I killed Mike. I killed Lolbit. And
I did it all. I murdered all of them.
No way.
No, that can't be.
Sunflower, no! Sun Kid, I know you're going to ask to wrap this case up, so I'll help you.
Sunflower.
But before I do, if it's the least I can do, can I show something that I was hiding from you for a while now? You were hiding something from us?
What was it?
I normally didn't want to show this because I was afraid you would hate me because of it, but you'll already hate me anyway for killing, so I'll show you.
And then she lifted her head up, and everything ended up becoming shocking.
There's the truth. There's the cold, unforgiving truth.
What the hell?
Sunflower,
What happened to your eye?
nothing happened to it. This was my eye when I was born. This eye has been with me since the day I grew as a plant. And it never left my side. Never, 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 never. Never, never. What is that? What does that do? It gave me powers of hypnotism. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't wanna experience this stupid shit anymore. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding anymore? I am not the ultimate gardener at all. I'm not. I never was. I wish I was, but I'm not.
You're not the ultimate gardener? Then you lied about your talent?
No. Well, yes, I was, but I just wanted to hide it because I hate it so much. Sunflower, please calm down. No, I can't. 'Cause you can't change me. I am the typical sunflower, the ultimate hypnotist, the same one who brings pain to all of his friends, no matter where she goes. No matter how many friends she makes, she hurts them one way or another.
I feel bad. Sunflower, I'm so sorry.
My heart. Don't be sorry. I killed 2 people. I don't deserve sympathy. Just vote me. Please. Sun Kid, please. Just do your thing that Cameron does. Make him proud. I failed Sheldon anyway. So at least make your friend proud.
Sunflower, there has to be something I got wrong. There has to be something that I've missed out. Sunflower, who I presumed was the ultimate gardener, is actually the ultimate hypnotist. And even so, she's grieving. She's actually crying. Would someone that is desperate for them to die really that much of a culprit? No, that can't be it. She can't be framing me or something. I don't think she has that in her. But no. Something must be a part of this. Maybe she has something to do else with this murder. I don't think she can be the killer. I need to listen. I need to find the truth.
All the evidence just points to me. Sunflower, the ultimate hypnotist, the same person that hurts all of his friends. Sunflower, don't say that about yourself. You didn't hurt us. We're still here, fighting with you. Just don't give up. There has to be something, anything that we can prove that you're not the culprit. Please, just cooperate with us. Why would I cooperate? It's clear. I'm the culprit. I had the timing and everything needed to kill Loban and Mike. So just vote me already.
No, that's wrong!
No, let's not vote.
What?
Are you serious right now?
Sun Kid, she's confessing. You need to stop this before you make it worse.
No, I'm not gonna stop because I know she's innocent. But you just said I never said she's the culprit. I said she only hypnotized Mike. There is no way that
Sunflower can pull off this murder.
Yeah, I'm with Sunkid on this one.
Yeah, there's no way. It's impossible.
There's no way.
I don't know what to think.
Well, I disagree.
Same here. I really don't see your point here, Sun Kid.
Please. Why are you defending me out of nowhere? Just vote for me, Sunkid. Just get this over with.
Sunflower, I have a feeling that you have something to do with this murder, but there's no way you're the culprit.
If anything, you have to be an accomplice. I'm sorry, an accomplice? Who would want to team up with her? I don't know, but maybe this conversation will prove your point. Monokuma! What is it, Sun Kid? Split. Oh, crap.
Oh! 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 Well, you heard it, boys and girls. It's time for another Scrum Debate, baby!
Ah, crap. Great, this is a waste of time.
Well, you already know what's the topic for this one. It's to decide if Sunflower really is the Blackened that they should vote for. Well, I'm looking forward to this one. Good luck!
Boo, 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 boo.
I have pretty good evidence that Sunflower cannot do this crime.
And I know because there are 3 pieces of evidence that I know exactly which ones can protect Sunflower from being the culprit.
She's maybe in denial now, but as soon as we are done with this, I know for a fact that she needs to admit that she can't do this crime. We cannot vote yet.
Please, just vote for me. I'm the culprit. Case closed.
Amy!
Sunflower, listen to me. It can't be you. I know it's not you. We all know it can't be you. Just please believe that you aren't.
She's confessing that she killed. Why are we extending this conversation?
Knuckles! Just because she's confessing doesn't mean she actually means it. If anything, maybe she's confessing because she is pressured. But we found Sunflower's pollen in the crime scene, didn't we? Cabby,
Even if we did, that could only mean that she could possibly be an accomplice.
What makes you think that it's not the other way around?
Chalice!
Because we know you, Sunflower. We know you wouldn't actually hurt anybody. Just please stop thinking it's you and listen to us.
Oh, please. It's clear that Sunflower had everything she needed and every time she needed to kill both of them. Knuckles! She had everything she needed? Come on, man. How would she even hold my arm blade to begin with? Not to mention, she had to cause a giant wound on Mike's back in order to kill him. If I did it, then that means I would have been the culprit.
Please, stop fighting over me. You have nothing to prove that I'm innocent.
I'll do it. I can count 3 pieces of evidence that clears you out, Sunflower. So stop thinking it's you and focus on our voices.
This is our answer.
the Crouch Binds results are that Sunflower is not the Blackened, but still could be an accomplice. So now, whether you like it or not, start siding with the winning team. That's it. Now let's get back to the trial. There we go. Sunflower, you are not the culprit. You have to be an accomplice of some sort.
I don't understand. Why?
Wait, you said there were 3 pieces of evidence that proves Sunflower is innocent?
Yeah, and luckily, Knuckles already mentioned one of them, so I could mention the other 2. But just in case that you somehow don't know, let me spell it out for you. From the red ribbon, the water bottle, the unorganized towel, and everything else mentioned throughout the entire case. While all of that does seem intangible for Sunflower, doing everything that was mentioned throughout this entire case is impossible for someone like Sunflower. Especially the arm blade. Yeah, that mark on Mike's eye that you guys found is really thin. So the only way that the culprit could make that such a thin slash is using the arm blade. But if you see the wound on Mike's eye, it's very well precise. Meaning that if Sunflower tried to do it, she needs to wrap the arm blade around her head. But with her head being the only way she can use the arm blade, she can't really balance on it. Alright, and what are the other pieces of evidence? The other 2 that you wanted to mention? Well, one piece of evidence, I want to save it for last, but because this next one I'm about to mention proves that Sunflower cannot be the culprit. Cabby, you know what I'm talking about. Could you hand it over?
Oh, right. Here you go.
I'll take it. Thank you. Sunflower, the reason you can't be the culprit is because of this evidence right here. When Cabby was investigating, she found this. I don't know where, but she found it.
I found it in the trash can next to our bedrooms.
Right. Thanks, Cabby. And it reads the following. I know your powers. Meet me in the fashion room or I will kill you. For whatever reason, I thought this was Mike's note at first. That this was a sentence for Mike to go to the fashion room. But now that I think about it, Mike didn't have any powers. So the only assumption that I know that this note belongs to is the real culprit. And this note was actually sent to Sunflower.
What? Sunflower. Is that true? I can't see.
Well, why not? Ketchup, that note was threatening her. Who knows? Maybe the culprit is still keeping that threat on her.
Sunflower, tell me the truth. I'm gonna protect you. Just say you're the accomplice and tell us even who the killer is. If you do, and if they try to do anything, I'm gonna shoot them.
Aw, and what happens if we shatter you before they shoot them?
Fuck you.
Alice, thank you, but I can't say it. I can't. I'm sorry. I know that that's really selfish of me, but my life is on the line the most here. So please just give me some time. Okay.
Wait, what about the last piece of evidence? Since you already just mentioned, just the note and what Knuckles said in the Scrum debate. Sure. Because after all, this piece of evidence may prove that Sunflower is not the culprit, but it also gets us to our suspects of who could actually be the culprit. Wait, huh? You can narrow down the suspects by this piece of evidence?
Wait, that's incredible. Tell us, Sunkid.
I will. The piece of evidence that can prove not only that Sunflower is innocent, but also leads down us to very less amount of suspects, is none other than the body discovery announcement of Lolbing.
What? Yeah, because it was crossed out.
And now I know why. Because the last 2 people who actually saw the body, had to have been Sunflower. Which only means one thing. Out of everyone here, there's only 3 suspects left. And those people are... It's one of us. Me, Knuckles, and Agumon. One of us is the culprit. One of us was the person who murdered Lolbit, the ultimate electrologist, and potentially Mike, the ultimate scientist, with the help of Sunflower. It all comes down to this.
Sunkid, you put yourself in the suspicion list?
Of course, I'm not selfish. And besides, it's an honest fact. Since the body discovery announcement only plays when 3 people discover the body, Sunflower must have been one of the people who discovered the body.
Well, if you think about it, it could have been also me, you know? Because remember, again, we established that the killer took the antidote and the handbook. And why would I take the handbook?
I will still lead to the fact that maybe Sunflower is the one who's innocent. Ketchup, what are you laughing at? Don't get me wrong, I find it selfless that you actually pinned yourself as one of the suspects. But that also means that you really are stupid. What? What do you mean, Ketchup? From the process of elimination, the only people that actually could be the culprit is either Knuckles or Sunkid. And that's that. It's one of you. And that's it. Wait, what? How? Well, duh, did you not hear Sunkid earlier? It's down to you two. And both of you were in close to the fashion room this morning, meaning one of you must have had the time to kill Mike. Now the question is, which one of you actually did it?
I didn't do it. I was in the bathroom, and Sunkid was there with me. He can back me up.
Yeah, I was there with him. There's no way it can be him, but... So it's Sunkid then. No, it can't be me. I didn't even enter the fashion room this morning.
You can't really defend yourself with that, but... Wait, no, that can't be it!
Yeah, Ketchup, please. Just give them a few chances. I mean, some kid carried us through this entire trial. Why would he backstab us like this?
I don't know. Maybe the entire poisoning Cameron thing really pushed him to his limit. Okay, I know I was a little angry that somebody poisoned Cameron. Sure, I admit it. I was mad, but I wouldn't kill someone for it. It can't be me. I was leading this entire trial. I wouldn't betray you guys. You guys know I wouldn't. Come on, Sunkid, come on. You need to get yourself out of this pickle somehow. There's always a way. You just need to look carefully.
Sunkid, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I just need to think a bit. That's it.
Sunkid.
I didn't want to come to this, but... Sunkid, I think you should take a break.
Huh?
Look, you carried us through this trial, and I'm very grateful for that. Now let us do the rest. Don't worry. We'll make sure to find the final suspect. We'll find out who's the true killer. You did a lot for us, so thank you. But now, I advise you to take a break.
I have to agree with Knuckles. I can see that this whole thing is putting you through a lot of stress. Don't let yourself get stressed over this. We will find the culprit. We promise.
Yeah, just take a break. You're looking really down right now.
They want me to take a break? During this entire trial? Where all the voices should be heard? The person who poisoned Cameron, who killed 2 people, possibly, and threatened Sunflower, is still in this room. Yet, they want me to just stop looking at everything and let them do all the work for me? No. Huh?
Sunkid?
No, I cannot do that. I'm glad that some of you care about me to the point where you'd want me to take a break, but I cannot take that offer. The culprit is still not revealed, and I need to find it. I need to do this for Cameron. Why don't you just kiss him already? He's 4! Oopsie, my mistake. Actually, I didn't even know his age, so lol.
I can't wait for you to end up on a list.
We're getting sidetracked. Sunkid, listen. I really know you want to do this for your friend, but think of it this way. It has to be either you, because you don't have any alibis other than the body discovery announcement, but thanks to the establishment of Sunflower, we can confirm that you actually are one of those people who are safe. Or it could be Knuckles, for having his arm bleed in the crime scene.
Oh, give me a break already!
No, there has to be more. There has to be something else.
Sun Kid, please, just don't worry. We'll handle the rest.
No. I'm so close. I can't give up like this. No.
Sun Kid.
Sun Kid, please. I'm sorry. It's just
I have to. I have to find the culprit.
Shut up!
Knuckles?
All of you, shut up! Seriously, we're barking like fucking dogs right now. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to take it slow and find the other murder.
But why would we take it slow? We already know who are the suspects. We just need to find out who is in between you two. And if anything, I feel like you're right now trying to just make yourself look good.
No, that is not true, and you know it. There are still pieces of evidence that could prove us as innocent.
There is?
Sun Kid, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know, the little theory that we had?
Huh? Right. Knuckles had a theory, but which one was it about again? That's it! It's the door theory. Right, Knuckles?
Yep, that's the truth.
A door theory?
I heard about this theory too, but how will that defend you?
Listen, I'm gonna describe what my theory basically has to... What's my theory first? Since some of you haven't heard. My door theory went like this. When I woke up early this morning, when I walked into the bathroom, the door of the fashion room was halfway open. But when Sun Kid entered the bathroom while I was still brushing my teeth, the door was wide open. And listen, I know I used to say Sun Kid was dumb back then, but even if I was the Knuckles back then, I still wouldn't believe that Sun Kid would be that stupid to kill someone and keep the door wide open.
That's kind of true.
And again, I was in the bathroom. I was brushing my teeth. How would I even have the time to murder Mike?
Well, you could have still killed him because of that giant gash on Mike's back.
Huh?
I kind of see Ketchup's point.
See, even my worst enemy agrees with me. So this whole door theory really doesn't help you. Wait a second, though.
Huh? Oh, great. Red's back to save the day again.
Okay, listen, I have a little speculation about this whole Mike's wound thing.
What is it, darling?
I'm just wondering, while the wound on Mike's back was bigger, was that the actual wound that killed, Mike?
What are you getting at, Red?
What if the Mike's back wound was actually like the first blow, but then the second blow from the arm blade was the one that killed Mike?
Now that you say that, that does make a lot of sense, Red.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and I think I know someone that can actually help me. Though, it is gonna be a little bit painful for them, but... Sunflower?
Huh?
Don't worry, I'm not suspecting you for anything. And I really don't want to bring your
Hypnotism powers because I can tell that you don't like them at all. But at least answer me this question. If the eye of the person who got hypnotized was cut, for example, would then the effects of the hypnotism nullify?
I mean, the only way that they can ever be hypnotized is if they look at me either tilting my head or sneezing my pollen at them.
So basically, your hypnotism kind of works like pocket sand, right?
I guess, but I really don't want to talk about it.
Again, I'm sorry.
I just need to know because I need to know everything about this murder so then that way...
No, it's fine. I guess it's okay, but why do you want to hear from a person who tried to kill? I'm a filthy traitor. That's all I am.
Ignoring that aside, I guess now we know that the real killing blow was the arm blade. And that still didn't clear any of you from suspicion.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, think about it. Even if your little accusation still kept you safe, like, what other options do we have?
Unless you all forgot something very fucking crucial. Why did Ketchup say it like that? As if he, like, knows everything about this? Maybe Ketchup is onto something again. Maybe he's trying to lure the culprit out. Come on, son kid, come on, come on. You're so close to solving this murder. Come on, maybe the red ribbon? No, that was used for only Lobit's murder. Maybe the wet towel? No, that doesn't lead to anything. The note? No. The water bottle? No, that was used to cause a mess. The water bottle was used to cause a...
Son kid?
Are you okay? I know who did it.
You do?
Well, who is it?
Come on, son kid. We're almost there. Tell us, quick.
At face value, this would make not a lot of sense since they have technically an alibi. But if you rule out other options, there really is none other than him. So I'm gonna answer to all of you. The person who poisoned Cameron, the person who killed Mike and Lolbit, and the person who threatened Sunflower to use her hypnotist powers could be none other than you. It has to be you! Before I say the culprit, I need to say Knuckles is innocent. What? There's only one piece of evidence that proves that Knuckles is not the culprit, and there's only one reason for it. Mike's wound overall. Because if that giant gap was made by Knuckles' punch, his hand would be covered in blood. If he did kill Mike, then he would have had to went to the bathroom to wash off his hands.
But how does that help him?
Because of one reason, and one reason only. The wet floor on the fashion room. It wasn't just added there for nothing. And the water bottle, it wasn't just spilled in the fashion room as a distraction. It was made to wash off the culprit's blood from their hands while Knuckles was in the bathroom. Am I right? Agumon! Excuse me! Agumon did this?
Wait, what?
I know, Cabby. It's strange, but it makes sense. Agumon has giant arms. He could use them to pierce through Mike's back, and then use the arm blade to frame Knuckles for this entire thing. Not to mention, from Agumon's behavior yesterday, I can tell that he would be someone to threaten Sunflower with that note. Agumon is the only person who would be sadistic enough beside Ketchup to make Sunflower his accomplice. What? Is your brain filled with jelly beans?
We already cleared me from suspicion. Why are you suddenly trying to shift things onto me?
You're just trying to defend yourself. Admit it. No. What I'm doing is stating the facts. Because who else would do this, huh? Who else can perform something like this?
Your logic is beyond twisted that it's twisted on itself. I told you, I don't have a reason. I would not steal our source of escape, so quit doing this to me.
Well, he has a point. He wouldn't want to steal the e-handbook, the same source of our escape. But I know deep down there's something deep into it. And I think someone knows this, that like I do. And they've been waiting for me to say this for this entire trial. Well, it's time to grant them their wish.
I am not the killer.
I don't know. That's kind of hard to tell. Thinking of what Sun Kid just said, it does make a lot of sense.
Well, I don't want to believe some kid was behind this, but I'm still not too sure.
See, even Cabby disagrees. I can't be the killer because I have an alibi. I did not steal the antidote, nor the e-handbook. Huh?
No, that's wrong!
You okay, man?
I'll be fine. No, you're wrong, Agumon.
What am I wrong about? The handbook?
In context, yes. Because here's the thing. I know you stole the antidote, and I know you did not steal the e-handbook.
What? What are you getting at?
Sun Kid, no offense, but you're starting to confuse me.
Yeah, I know. Which is why I'm gonna let the man of the hour do the talking. Ketchup. Now I know why you've been staring at me throughout this whole trial. You wanted me to reveal your secret, theory, right?
Bravo! It took you this long. Congrats, Sun Kid. This whole thing could have been ending right here and there. But you decided to waste our time.
Just say your theory.
I don't have the rights to say it, since you want to say it, probably.
He had a theory? Sun Kid, what is he talking about?
Alright. I guess I've been delaying. Might as well I say it.
Go ahead, say it, you goddamn snake.
I was going to, Miss Chalice. Anyways, my theory is that while yes, the antidote was stolen by our fellow Blackened, I think that the e-handbook wasn't stolen by the Blackened, because the harsh reality of this is that the e-handbook has nothing to do with this crime whatsoever.
What?
What do you mean?
I honestly am not sure who actually stole the e-handbook that you guys constantly talk about, but whatever it did do something. It drove Agumon to do something like this. And to think that the e-handbook missing would save him, delusional.
That is what he is.
Are you kidding me? You're siding with this gremlin?
Hey, I'm a candy monster!
Calling me gremlin is offensive. The point is, I've been listening to all of you talk about how the culprit stole the e-handbook. The culprit took the antidote. It was annoying me.
Then why didn't you say anything earlier?
Because I thought all of you would finally realize it. But no, it took them this long. And
It took you long enough to say it. I wanted to save it for this moment, Ketchup.
Yeah, not to mention, if he did say that earlier, he might have actually probably would have caused some distraction and probably get us sidetracked.
actually, it wouldn't. Because then it would have one less person to actually have as a suspicion. But no, you allowed yourself to be suspect, so good job for being incompetent.
I don't care about that. I don't care if it took me a while to say something like this. All I care about is exposing the Blackened.
Sun Kid, what did I tell you? Don't let revenge consume you.
You know, Red, I would love to listen to you, but this one is personal.
Sun Kid.
Sun Kid, please, calm down.
I can't calm down. The only person who ever talked to me throughout this entire killing game at first was almost dead because of the Blackened. And because of him.
I know you're the culprit, Agumon. At this point, it can only be you.
Agumon, you had everything you needed. Everything that lines up makes sense.
Hold on, Sun Kid. Look, I know you're angry, and I don't want to bother too much, but there is just one question that remains off, and I just want you to answer it if you can. Again, it's your option.
Sure, Amy. What's the question?
It's about the murder itself. While I understand that Agumon could have possibly done all this, one thing confuses me. If he really did kill Mike in the fashion room, why didn't he close the door when Knuckles was in the bathroom?
Yeah, Amy has a point, Sun Kid. I know Agumon a bit from this experience, and I know he's smart. He wouldn't be dumb enough to keep the door open. That would get himself exposed. So why didn't Agumon close the door?
Maybe there is an answer to that. Maybe I didn't know, but actually, maybe someone can help. Knuckles, I need your help on this one.
Yeah, sure. What is it, Sun Kid?
Okay, so I know this could be just a theory, but I'm still gonna think of it as evidence. But, Knuckles, when you were making your way to the bathroom, when you saw the, fashion room halfway open, were the lights on?
No, the lights weren't on.
Son Kid, what are you getting at? What I'm getting at is that maybe the culprit had to have hidden inside the fashion room, turn off the lights to make sure that nothing would be suspicious out of it. And now I know this next one is a bit of a stretch, but I think if the culprit, like Agumon, was smart enough, they would try to time Knuckles' door closing.
Wait, what?
Huh?
What kind of evidence is that?
When I was entering the bathroom this morning, the doors were closed. So, and because of the fact that the door in the fashion room were wide open, I have a gut feeling that at first the door was closed before it was wide open.
So what if Knuckles, when he was closing the bathroom door, the culprit was looking at Knuckles closing the door and closed the door with him simultaneously?
What kind of 360 logic are you on about? That's so fucking circumstantial!
Circumstantial, sure, but if you think about it, for someone as smart as you would pull something like this off.
I don't know. This seems oddly unrealistic. I mean, you said that the culprit had to see Knuckles closing the bathroom door. How would he possibly look at it without getting himself caught, without peeking through the door?
Exactly! There's no way that
The keyhole. That's how he saw it. Agumon looked through the keyhole. He was looking at the keyhole to look at Knuckles closing the door. And when he was starting to close it, he closed at the same time. That's why the door was halfway open. Agumon used the halfway open door to look at Knuckles closing the door through the keyhole. And once he started closing it, Agumon pushed the door with him.
Sunflower.
You
Do not make a move, or I will blow your brains out! I got you. It's okay. Here, sit with me. You're safe with me. Why? Shh, it's okay.
So, Agumon, with everything that is mentioned now, do you confess? Or do you still have some bullshit planning with you? From your motive, to the way you murdered, to every piece of evidence that remains besides Sunflower's pollen, everything points to you. So, either confess, or unless you have some other random alibi, we're gonna vote for you.
Okay, Sunkid. You pushed me to my last alibi. I actually do have one more alibi, and it will blow everything off you've been planning.
Alright. Then what is it?
This alibi has nothing to do with Lolbit or Mike. This one has to do with Cameron.
Ooh, what is it?
If I really poisoned Cameron's food, when would I have the time to do so? Let's just talk about that a little bit, and then I can help you recap everything.
He would? What the hell is he on about? Well, you could have poisoned it in the morning. In the early morning, before anyone could have woke up. Before 7 a.m.
Yeah, you would have to woken up before Cameron, because I was the second one who saw him up alive.
But did you forget something, Chalice?
Huh?
What is he doing?
Don't you get it, Chalice? You are my alibi!
What?
Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
You know what, to explain this, let me try to elaborate from the Cameron's little truth of the case thing. If I really was the culprit, this is everything I need to have done. During the morning of Cameron's poisoning, I have to have woken up early, see that there's no e-handbook, and then out of sheer frustration, go into the medical room, grab the poison, go to the kitchen, poison the macaroni we had, hide away maybe in a game room or something when Cameron was walking up. Then I had to climb back up to the second floor, put the poison back into the medical room, and then go back to my room to clear my alibi, and then after avoiding the confusion. Now, here is my problem. When I was walking up on the second floor, Chalice saw me.
Chalice, is this true?
Yes, I saw him.
Yeah, she saw me. All I did was waved hello, and then I walked back into my room.
That's also true.
See, that is my alibi. And if you somehow don't believe me, then let me ask you this. If I really was the culprit, where would I hide the poison when Chalice saw me? I couldn't just hide it behind my back. It would be way too obvious. And if I hid it in my mouth, some of it would have entered into my system and I would have died.
Ooh, he's got a good point. Yeah, he has a good point. And he couldn't hide it in the game room because then he would be caught even more easier.
Exactly. So with that being said, I could have not done this murder because I had to poison Cameron in order to be the culprit. So if you can't explain where would I hide the poison without Chalice noticing it, then quit your yapping and leave me alone.
He's desperate. He wants me to get his ass off. But no. There has to be something that I'm missing. All the evidence point to him. There has to be something that I'm missing. Anything. Come on, son kid. You're so close. You feel like you're so close. There has to be something. Anything. Actually, there might be. Didn't find it strange at first, but that was the dead giveaway. Agumon, I know where you hid the bottle of poison.
What?
I will beat you to it. I will show you and everyone here that you are the culprit of this case. You poisoned Cameron, you threatened Sunflower, and you killed Lolbit and Mike.
That's just twisted logic. Do you really think that you've got me just like this? I couldn't hide the poison from Chalice. She would have saw me. So where would I hide the poison?
Let's do our best.
Huh? Me?
Time to throw hands.
You have no idea. What are you even talking about? I am not the killer.
I don't care what you say. You're going down.
What's your evidence behind me? Your evidence has flaws. What do you mean the handbook was irrelevant? That's literally impossible. It can't. How did Sunflower become my accomplice? She wouldn't just say yes to a murder.
The truth is within these files. You sent Sunflower a death-threatening note, telling her that you would kill her if she doesn't show up. And the only person that would be sadistic enough to write that would be you!
Are you kidding me? That's so stupid! Anyone could have wrote that note. Out of everyone, why do you thinking it's me? It's illogical. It has to be Knuckles or Sunkid. Are you kidding me? If I did kill Mike, why would I do it in the fashion room? I would get myself caught by Knuckles.
I'll smash through that. Yeah, because when I was in the bathroom, I would not be able to hear you killing Mike because he was hypnotized, and because you closed the door at the same time as I closed my door. But if you want some other, theories, you could have also waited for me to open the sink's water. What? No, I'm not gonna lose here. I'm going to win. That's illogical. That would be such a gamble. When does you think I'll play that gamble off? Everything is circumstantial.
I have 1 HP left.
So quit your bullshit. How would I know when Knuckles entered the fucking bathroom?
I'll do something right! You used the keyhole to look at where Knuckles would enter the bathroom. And the reason I know this is because I was your accomplice. I was in the same room as you!
Oh no. If I'm the killer, I had to have hid the bottle of poison from Chalice. So where? Where did I hide the poison? This ends now! No! Damn it!
As a matter of fact, I think I know one place where you could have hidden the poison.
No! You're bluffing! You're bluffing! You're in denial!
No, I'm not. Because when I was waiting for the trial to start, I noticed something that at first, it wasn't anything too big and major for me. But now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
You found something before we started this trial?
That's right, Cabby. And that piece of evidence is the little wet spot on the blanket sheet.
What?
Interesting assumption. Though, could you elaborate what do you mean by that? In order to do so, I first need to ask Monokuma one more question.
Jesus, you've been really into questions this trial. What's up with you?
Okay, listen, if the questions really bother you, then I promise you this is the last one. Though, I still need to know. That, little blanket, the gray one with stars on it, the ones in the blanket sheet that's in the game room, was it, drying, yesterday?
Okay, I suppose I can answer that question too. Yeah, the blanket was there because it was the natural laundry day for me.
The National Laundry Day?
What? Some people have their own laundry day, and that day that Cameron was poisoned was mine. But yeah, that thing was drying during the laundry day, and then I picked it up somewhere around 7:15, I remember.
Right. And Chalice, what was the time when you and Agumon exactly met?
I don't know, maybe somewhere around 7:09?
And there you go. Agumon would have just enough time to hide the poison when you encountered him, go into his room as a distraction, take the poison out of the blanket sheet, and send it back to the medical room before Monokuma got the chance to take the blanket sheet.
That's just a one giant fucking coincidence though! How would I know when Monokuma would take that stupid blanket sheet?
The time when Monokuma took the blanket sheet, it doesn't matter. What matters is if you did use the blanket sheet to hide the poison. And looking at it, it makes a lot of sense.
Sadly, yeah, Knuckles is right.
So, we are convinced.
So you did do all this?
No! You can't do this!
I think we can. Sun Kid, would you like to end this for us all? Do what Cameron would want you to do.
Okay, I'll do it. It's time to bring justice to the victims who fall for you, Agumon.
This is the not so fast!
Hey, You can't hide yourself anymore. We already know it's...
Huh?
What?
Don't you dare take another word. If you say anything or vote for me, I'm going to drop this antidote to the ground, and then Cameron won't be able to recover. And now listen what you're all going to do. You're gonna vote for yourselves, and I will decide who one of you gets to be voted.
You scoundrel! Where did you even get that? Wait, no! It fell from my leaf!
Heh, you know, Sunflower, I must thank you. You really did help me out in the end of the day, despite stabbing me in the back.
You conniving bastard! Get that back!
No, my life is more valuable than any of yours. So you'll vote for each other, and that's that.
He's holding Cameron's recovery item in hostage. No. I did it. I solved the case, but he's gonna drop it if I say anything else. If I start trying to expose him for everything that happened, no, it won't. It won't work. Sorry, Cameron. I failed you, buddy. I'm sorry, Mike. I failed you. I'm sorry a little bit. Wait.
Son kid.
You know what, Agumon? Go ahead. Drop it.
Psychic!
Did you finally give up?
No, I didn't. But there's something that you probably forgot.
Oh, really? More evidence, fake evidence to point towards me, huh? Huh?
No, it's not that. It's comical that you think that the antidote is really what we actually need.
Is he in denial for real now? Agumon, Mike told me that while the second antidote is required to help Cameron, it was only to make his healing process faster. If you're gonna break that antidote right here and now, you'll be wasting your time, as Cameron will only take 4 days to recover, while with that antidote it'll take a bit faster.
No, you're just screwing with me. You're just trying to make me look bad.
Wanna bet? I will still prove that you're the culprit. I will go back throughout the entire case.
You can drop the antidote if you want. That's on you. But just know, the only thing you're doing is delaying your inevitable defeat.
You.
Sofa! Achoo! Psychic, catch!
This is for Cameron, Lolbit, and Mike.
No!
Agumon, the ultimate pyro. This is the truth behind the crime you committed.
For this crime scene, I'm not only going to exploit what the culprit must have done throughout this entire thing, but also some other things that we haven't mentioned in this trial. So that being said, here we go. Monokuma introduced us the third motive, a trivia motive where one of us, if they kill, will get an answer to their question about the previous killing game. Which, while it didn't affect some of us actually have been affected by the motive. After the motive was announced, Mike suggested Cabby and everyone else to meet at the couch. When everyone showed up at Mike's announcement, except for Ketchup, who left as soon as they started, Mike and Cabby decided to split us into 3 groups. My group consists of Cameron, Lolbit, Sunflower, and myself. Chalice, Mike, and Cabby were in their own group, and the final group consisted of Red, Amy, Knuckles, and the culprit of this case, which in fact would have gave Culprit a perfect opportunity to frame Knuckles. However, the culprit really didn't have any reason to think to suspect Knuckles at that very moment, because the handbook wasn't stolen back then. So instead, he decided to just simply leave the group. During that time, they probably were doing something else in their room. But during the time Cameron was spending time with Sunflower, the culprit must have saw Sunflower sneeze, which affected me in the process, causing me to zone out. And the reason why that worked was because Sunflower was the ultimate hypnotist. But not only the culprit was never aware that Sunflower was the ultimate hypnotist until this trial, again, they really didn't thought much of it, because again, they had no motive, at least yet. While everyone went to their own dorm rooms at nighttime, 2 crucial moments for this crime scene happened.
The first one, Monokuma was setting up the blanket sheet to dry for the night. As according to Monokuma, it was his National Laundry Day.
The second thing that happened during the nighttime, we don't know who, but someone took the e-handbook
While the culprit was sleeping. We don't know why they actually took the e-handbook, but for now we can only assume is that they tried to drove the culprit into murder.
and that was going to happen indeed.
6 hours later, before the 7 a.m. announcement, the culprit woke up and saw something shocking. The e-handbook was missing, and at that moment, the culprit did not try to think of anything, any conclusions or anything in particular, but rather to get the person who stole it. So out of sheer frustration, they suddenly got a motive to kill.
So the culprit went to find their murder weapon that they would use to make it an impossible crime scene. And I think the first place they looked at was the drawer inside the medical room. And as a matter of fact, they found something. And that was the bottle of antidote and the bottle of poison. So the culprit decided to take this as their opportunity. They took one bottle of the antidote and one bottle of poison, potentially not knowing that there was another antidote deep inside the little drawer. But the culprit still went for their plan. First hiding their bottle of antidote in their room, and then going to the living room with the bottle of poison, and used it and infected their previous dinner with it.
After they finished, they left the kitchen.
But as they were leaving, the morning announcement played.
So to make sure that they don't get caught,
I'm going to assume they rushed into the game room,
as it's the closest room there, waiting for whoever gets out first to not notice him.
and that first person who showed up was Cameron.
Without hearing any more footsteps, the culprit decided to take this chance.
They silently sneaked away from the living room for Cameron to not hear them, but as they were making their way, they heard footsteps in the distance. Culprit, aggravated but also in panic, looked around hoping that they would find somewhere to hide the poison. And luckily for them, there was the blanket sheet. Now, if we take a look at this blanket sheet, it seems impossible that you can hide it in there, as the blanket sheet is open. So if they hid the poison in there, it would fall off. But luckily, they found something within the blanket sheet that will help them, because this blanket sheet was not entirely open. It had a few closed areas at the side of the sheet. So reacting quickly, they slid the poison into the blanket sheet, and it was just in time. As the person who was walking down, Chalice, who couldn't notice the culprit because there was the blanket sheet, encountered the culprit, but the culprit just waved and walked off. I'm assuming Chalice was kind of confused, but whatever the reason, she just kept going down. Afterwards, the culprit went into their room and waited. Waited for everyone to go down to the living room, except for a few people. Mike, Sunflower, and me, who haven't really gotten out of our rooms yet. However, once the coast was clear, they went back down to the blanket sheet and snatched the poison back in their arsenal, not knowing that the liquid of the poison actually made a small drenched spot on the blanket sheet, which is what I would notice later on. And what miraculous timing, because Monokuma was just getting there to get the blanket sheet back into the game room. After leaving the empty bottle of poison back into the medical room, all the culprit had to do now was just wait for the right timing. After a bit, they went back into the living room and played it out like somebody else was responsible for this. While he still wanted to find out who stole the e-handbook, he was the one who ultimately poisoned the food. Which unluckily for them, Cameron was the one who took the first bite. And at that point, the poison started to affect him, which made Cameron start bleeding. The poison was taking an effect on him. And it wasn't until me and Mike came in and grabbed him to the medical room. If we haven't done right on time, I don't know if Cameron would have been alive by now. After a bit, the culprit decided to check on everyone. When they realized Mike was the one who saved Cameron, they knew that their plan would be failing, which means they have to make another murder, a different one, so that way it doesn't look like they exactly were the ones who did it. And luckily for them, there was one person that could assist them later on. So once everyone separated, the culprit decided to go back to their room again to form a new plan. They decided to write a note to Sunflower, so that in the end, Sunflower would be the accomplice.
and they wrote the note saying, "I know your powers. Meet me in the fashion room or I will kill you." With something that we haven't mentioned, a crossed out time, which they really weren't successful with crossing it out because it was still visible. But regardless, the culprit, all they had to do was wait for the right time to send the note, which would be at nighttime. The day passed by and the nighttime was arriving and we all went to our rooms. However, Red spotted Lolbit walking out in the night. After confronting Lolbit and knowing what Lolbit wants, Red allowed Lolbit to stay at night. But that would be Lolbit's greatest mistake, as what she didn't know is that this night she was gonna be a victim. Before they moved out with their plan, the culprit went to the Sunflower's dorm room and slid the note under the door, making sure Sunflower sees this when they wake up. Finally thinking that he's alone in the night, the culprit took the antidote and went into the, I'm assuming, the fashion room. But then someone encountered him. It was Lolbit, and she saw the antidote that the culprit was holding. At that point, the culprit needed to do something, and fast. But with them being one of the second smartest there, they decided to take this as an opportunity. The culprit ran away, with Lolbit chasing after them. The chase was intense. Lolbit was catching up to the culprit, but the culprit took this moment and entered the bathroom. Despite Lolbit's fear of water, she entered the bathroom regardless, to try and confront the culprit, to bring back the antidote. But the culprit had none of it. They grabbed Lolbit, and before she could react, the culprit threw her into the shower, and then closed the shower glass. And just like that, Lolbit was trapped in the shower. Now, one thing we didn't establish is how did the shower turn on? Well, this killing game shower room activates automatically when someone's in the shower area for 10 seconds. And since Lolbit was in there for 10 seconds, the shower activated automatically. Because the water was set to hot mode, steam started foaming around the shower glass. While Lolbit was still alive, they tried to take that opportunity and try to write a dying message. However, the closing water came close to Lolbit and shocked her, killing her instantly. With Lolbit getting electrocuted and dead, the culprit decided to take this time and finish the rest. First, they turned off the shower's water. Afterwards, they removed the dying message that Lolbit had, which is why that the dying message remained as a mystery, because the culprit was smart enough to wipe off the dying message. But then came one more problem. Lolbit's body was covered with water, and she is fully a robot. So how would the culprit get her out of the shower room without getting themselves electrocuted? Well, they knew the answer. The culprit went into the game room, and they found exactly what they wanted. The red ribbon on the game room's basket. Without hesitation, they took the red ribbon and went back into the bathroom. Now, in any circumstance, they really didn't need to do this. Lolbit died in the shower. There were no stab wounds, and they had no reason to hide Lolbit's body. But there actually kind of was, because what the culprit wanted was almost an impossible case. A case where it can't be too sure what actually happened. Now back to the culprit's plan. They opened the cabinet and then used the red ribbon as the lasso mechanism we tested. They grabbed both sides with different hands, threw it behind Lolbit, and once it was caught tight, they pushed it with all their might, sending her flying straight into the cabinet. And all they had to do was remove the red ribbon by slowly pulling it out of the victim's dead corpse, and just like that, their first murder was completed. But again, to confuse the crime scene, they were not done yet. After they shut Lolbit into the cabinet, they hid the red ribbon, they took the antidote, and hid the antidote in the fashion room, making sure that the next day, Sunflower would hide it under her leaves. And then, the culprit just simply waited for the next day. While they were waiting for the next day so Sunflower could arrive, they decided to take a few more stuff for the next crime scene. First, they took the arm blade they found in the game room to frame Knuckles, and then snatched one of the water bottles from the snack drawer. With the items required for the next crime scene, all they needed left now is to wait for their accomplice, Sunflower, to show up. Sunflower, this is where you take over.
Okay. The next morning, I woke up from a knock on the door. I'm guessing the culprit tried to alert me first, so since I was a little curious, I decided to see who it was. But before I opened the door, I saw the letter. I read it and I got scared. If they really meant it, I really didn't want to die. So, in fear of punishment from death, I took no time and rushed to the fashion room. Afterwards, after I arrived, the culprit and I started having a discussion about the whole thing. And like you probably mentioned, he threatened me. If I objected to this murder, he would have killed me. So I had no choice but to join in. But then the morning announcement played.
This is where we assume that Amy probably woke up and saw Mike alive while she was walking to the living room.
Once we felt like the coast was clear, the culprit started talking loudly about murder, which made me very uncomfortable. Which, to the surprise of me and the culprit, Mike actually went to investigate.
I mean, I would see it pretty logical. After all, the fashion room and the medical room's doors were open. How else would Amy see Mike? And since our other rooms are completely soundproof when they're closed, it would be impossible for Mike not to hear them without alerting anyone else.
And with that, Mike entered the fashion room. I'm assuming he saw me and the culprit, and there was the antidote right next to me. But when Mike was about to confront us, the culprit told me to do it. And so I did. Achoo! Achoo! I hypnotized Mike, dropping my pollen everywhere. With Mike now hypnotized, he could only stand still. I dragged him away from the door as the culprit shut off the lights to create an illusion. And as they heard someone walking towards the first floor, they hid behind a door. That's where Knuckles came in. Luckily, they didn't see anything from the fashion room other than the door halfway open. But the culprit took this time to look into the keyhole to see when was Knuckles closing the door.
And when Knuckles was closing the door, the culprit was pushing the door to close it simultaneously, right?
Yeah, they did. And now the culprit, me and Mike were all alone. No one would be able to hear us. So the culprit turned the mic around, extended their arm, and when Knuckles turned on the water, they pierced through Mike's back. But despite that, Mike was still alive. But that's what the culprit wanted, as he flipped it aside, grabbed the arm blade, and slashed his eye. This is where the hypnotization would wear off. But it was too late for Mike, as he already died.
Once their crime scene was over, they knew that they had to get rid of the bloody arm. But Knuckles was in the bathroom. He would get caught, and they couldn't risk a chance that Knuckles wouldn't find Lobit's body. So instead, they had to clean their arm somewhere in the fashion room. But luckily, that's why they brought the water bottle, just in case in that situation to happen. So the culprit asked Sunflower to open the water bottle and pour the water into the arm, wiping the blood off of their hands. All they needed to do left was clean up the crime scene, but they needed to make it fast, as they never know who would show up in the bathroom next. That's where the culprit and the accomplice, Sunflower, went to do two separate things. While the culprit took one of the towels and started wiping off the blood, causing a wet mess around this part of the fashion room, while Sunflower was hiding all the evidence during this murder.
But while we were cleaning, the culprit realized that the doors were still closed. So if Knuckles were to get out of the bathroom, he would notice something off. So because of it, the culprit rushed through their cleaning.
They did?
Yeah, that's why the one towel was disorganized, and why Mike's body was in the closet. So in desperate panic, as to know what he wanted, I immediately opened the door. And in his last attempt, the culprit turned off the lights to make sure that nothing went wrong.
Yeah, but that's where their biggest problem came in. They let you open the door, not themselves. Which would make me spot the door being wide open while I was going to the bathroom. And that was the truth of the case. The case was very complex, with 3 different types of murders. But as much as they try to perfect their crime scene, they left so many ways that this crime could go horribly wrong. Their biggest problem was that they were going to assume that the e-handbook was going to save them from this murder. However, they've been proven wrong. I won't sugarcoat it anymore. Agumon, the ultimate pyro, you're responsible for this entire murder! And that's that. That is the truth of this entire crime scene.
No, 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 no!
That's just sad.
You fucking scoundrel! And to think that I wanted to spend time with you, to know you more! Sunflower, it's okay. Just go cast your bow. We all know what to fall for. Okay.
No, no, this isn't fair! This isn't fair! This isn't fair! Monokuma, cast the votes already!
It does seem like all of you did make a decision, so hold still, dude, I got you. It's time to cast your votes. You know how it does already. Kindly lock on your votes and decide on who do you think is the culprit. Make triple sure that you actually vote because you don't want to get executed for something major, because if you don't vote, you're gonna get executed, blah, 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 blah. So let's see who you guys think is the Blacken. Who do you think is the one who done it? Did you think you come with the final choice? I'm so excited to see the results. So who is it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Rolling, woohoo! Hop, da 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 da! And your choice was correct! The Blacken behind Lobit, the ultimate electrologist, and I'll just say it, and Mike, the ultimate scientist, was indeed Agumon, the ultimate pyro! Boo 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 boo!
I was right. I actually did it. Now I feel good.
It's not fair! It's not fair! I was so close!
So close, yet so far.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
You shut up! I thought I could trust you! I thought all those times I spent with you could have actually meant something! I wanted to be your friend, but now you stabbed us in the back!
Yeah, you killed 2 people. And for what? 2 innocent people who just live their lives with us here are dead because of you. It's bad enough that you killed one of them, but worse, you killed 2 of them. Why?
Isn't it obvious, Red? Think about it. Lolbit's was a little complex, while Mike's one was a bit more needed of help. And with Cameron being poisoned, it's obvious that Agumon just wanted to make a complex crime scene, so he could easily get away with it.
But for what?
What motive? What's the reason behind this?
That's what we're about to find out. Agumon, you better start talking.
You're not gonna hear me talk. If I'm gonna die, I'm going to die! And that's that! You won't hear anything from me!
Agumon, it's really a shame that you really don't want to tell them, you know, something that only I could know.
Wait, what? Monokuma, no, you're not gonna say that!
Oh, come on! I bet now they are very curious.
You're hiding something from us, huh, Agumon?
No, I'm not hiding anything! Monokuma's just speaking nonsense!
Then why are you fighting back?
Why am I fighting?
You better start explaining. What are you hiding? Who are you?
No, I'm not gonna say it! I'm not gonna say it! I'm not saying anything to all of you!
Alright, fine, I'll say it.
I swear if you do!
Oh my god, shut the fuck up! Seriously, you're even more annoying than I am. Monokuma, tell us what he's hiding.
No!
Very well. The reason why Agumon was a very special case for me personally was because Agumon, the ultimate pyro, was the survivor of a previous killing game! Boo, 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 boo!
A survivor of another game?
Wait, but how is that possible? Like, his silhouette wasn't even in the list. What are you talking about?
What I meant was he was a survivor of a killing game that wasn't in the motive. Believe me, there were more than just that killing game and this one. There were plenty of killing games across the globe. And Agumon, the ultimate pyro, was one of the survivors. How sad.
If he was a survivor of a previous killing game, that means he
This is not his first time killing. That fucking...
Sunkid, calm down, man.
He killed more than he actually should have.
As much as I hate to say it, he actually was a survivor with other 5 participants, but that's beside the point.
What do you have to say for yourself? You've been caught by Monokuma. He told us everything now. It tells us everything about you. So do you have anything to say for yourself? Do you feel any shame at all? Explain yourself now!
It's his fault. It's that stupid elf's fault.
Chadley! I swear, when I get out of here, I'm going to kill him for putting me into this! He told me that I was doing this to save others, but it failed, and I was trapped in another situation. I should have just left. Why did I join the stupid Alpha Stars group? If only I disobeyed him and just went to live my own goddamn life, I wouldn't be sticking around with you all. But no, I had to listen to him. I had to become a fucking murderer of this gang. It's all his fault. He's responsible for putting me into this. And then,
It's not Toon Link's fault. It's yours. You made your decision. Toon Link did not force you to kill Lolbit and Mike. You did that to yourself.
Sunkid, stop! And what are you on about? You don't know anything about the sidelines between the Alpha Stars.
I maybe don't know much about your Hope Foundation, but I know that they're not responsible for what you did. You did this yourself because you made this decision. You poisoned Cameron. You killed Lolbit. You threatened Sunflower to join your murder with Mike. You're responsible for everything that happened.
You!
Ooh, some fire coming out. I was not expecting this. And I would know, Agumon, because I am an unfortunate victim of that. I used to be made fun of back then because I was choosing to be made fun of. I never stood up for myself. I was just keep trying to be funny. And I never let bullying get the head of me. I kept becoming a punching bag because I made that as my own decision. But I'm done with that. I'm gonna now do decisions that are good, unlike you. So all I'm gonna say is, I feel bad for the Hope Foundation having you on their group. And I hope that they rest easy, knowing that their worst Hope Foundation member is gonna die.
Sunkid, she...
Ho ho ho! Shots fire! Shut up! 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 I should have figured. Once he's finally breaking his guard, he cries like a bitch. Monokuma, I don't want to see him ever again. Just punish him, please! I can't stand this anymore. Just do it, please!
All right, don't rush me. However, I know that it's not right to reward bad behavior, but I did say in the motive that if the person kills, regardless if they get caught or not, I will answer one question from the previous killing game. So, Aguma, before we start your very special punishment, I'd advise you to answer your question. Or do you want to keep it a mystery?
Right, the motive. That must have been the reason why you killed.
Well then, you got your wish. You killed 2 people, and now you can get your question answered. So start asking your question. Monokuma, where is Gamaman?
Whoa, geez, you don't need to scream. Though your little friend, hold on, let me recount what happened to him. Oh yeah, he died.
What?
He died?
Yep, he was the 3rd culprit. Ironic, cause you're also the 3rd culprit. Man, 2 friends really do think alike. Talk about a massive ironicness. 2 friends killing in the 3rd case. How fucking ironic.
You bear!
Whoa!
I am going to kill you!
Whoa, well, good luck trying. Now then, everybody, I prepared a very special punishment for the ultimate pyro, Agumon.
My punishment? No! This is your punishment!
Let's give it everything we got. Oh, crap.
Monokuma!
Oh, shit, it's punishment time! Whew! Man, that was honestly really scary. He almost had my ass there. Whew, but that was so thrilling. Especially that last part, though. For some reason, I feel like I haven't done that in the right date. Oh well.
He's gone now.
At that moment, I had a strange feeling. When I saw Yellow and Sheldon die like this, I was so scared. While watching Agumon die, all in my mind was singing Good Riddance.
Well, I guess I see you have nothing to say, so I suggest you leave the trial. Tomorrow is gonna be another very nice day. Oh wait, it's still morning, like somewhere around like 2 p.m. Whatever. I advise you to get some rest, cause whew, that was stressful, I can tell. Anyways, that's it, so have a good day. Boo 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 boo. Boo boo! Sunflower!
Jesus. She really did suffer through a lot. I need some time.
Sweetie, wait! Let's just go.
Yeah, this was a waste.
Sunkid, are you okay?
I don't know. I feel justified for finding Agumon's killer, but at the same time, I feel like I've made some people scared of me.
Scared of you? But you saved us.
Yeah, but maybe I overreacted.
I personally think that maybe that's not the case. But if you really think you did, then I'm sorry.
Hey, son kid. I know you're probably gonna go and give that antidote to Cameron, so I just want to ask, and I know this might be a wrong time, but do you wanna, can we talk later? Cause there's something I need to tell you. Of course. Thank you.
And so, Knuckles left, and it was finally my turn to leave the room. Now, 3 people died today, or at least 3 people were found out dead today. That is 7 people dead. At this point, I don't even know how many deaths left are there gonna be before we all die. And so, my elevator finally brought me back to the rooms. With the antidote in hand, I walked out and went straight to the medical room. Cameron, he was sleeping. Peacefully, actually. Huh? Hey, Cams. Did I interrupt your sleep? Sun Kid. Hey, little bro. You did it, huh? Yeah, I found the person behind this all. Really? Who was it? It was Agumon. He did this. Huh. I don't get it, though. Why? It was because of the stupid motive. But that doesn't matter now. Cameron, drink this. Oh, is that an antidote? Yeah. You have to have one more in order to recover. So come on, drink up. Okay. It's kind of sour. Yeah, but how do you feel? A little better, honestly. Thanks. That's a relief. So, Agumon was the person who is now gone. Yeah. Son Kid, Is there something bothering you? It wasn't his first time. Huh? Agumon was a survivor of a previous killing game. He was? Mm-hmm. He talked about those people who we talked to in that handbook, and he hated them. He hated them for putting him into this, though. I feel like that was all his fault. Huh. So, I guess me and Lolbit were right. Huh? During our free time, Lolbit, was wondering if Lakitu was in that one killing game, but I guess he wasn't. But now it makes sense. What if Agumon and Lakitu were in the same killing game? Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. You want me to get you anything else, Cameron? No, but just know this. I was a little skeptical about this trial since I couldn't be a part of it, but of course my little brother had to prove me wrong. And I'm proud of you, no matter what. If I had my real brothers right here with me, they would be really grateful. Oh, well, I'm glad that you actually think that. Though, I'd advise you to get a bit more rest, since you still feel a little weak. Yeah, I suppose. Alright then, well, I'll then take a rest. You take care out there, alright? Don't worry, everything will be fine. Oh, and don't worry, I'll explain everything to you when you get back on your feet. I know you will. Alright. Take care, Cameron. You too, Suncat.
And so, I gave Cameron a few more time to rest.
You're relieved. That means he's fine.
Thankfully, yeah. He's okay.
Well, that's a great sign.
Yeah. I guess now I'll just let him rest, and maybe I'll also take a small break. After all, I did lead the whole trial.
Yeah, you should definitely get that break. You earned it.
Huh? Knuckles?
Not so fast, buddy. There's still something I want to tell you.
Sure, what is it?
Well, I did give you this challenge, and you completed it, so... Son kid, I apologize for how I was behaving.
Huh?
After a while, you finally managed to prove me wrong. During that whole yelling at Agumon, you told me that why you were accepting of being bullied by me and some others, because, you know, we couldn't tolerate you. And now I see it. And now I feel like a bigger ass because of it. So I just want to apologize for all the times that I've been yelling at you and doubting your intelligence.
Hey, I'm not really as smart as you think, Knuckles. I'm still the same Sun Kid. However, I wouldn't be able to solve this trial without you or Cabby. So if anything, I'm extremely grateful for both of you for helping me out.
No problem, I suppose. Though, don't worry. Now I'm on your side, man.
I'm glad to hear that. Anyways, I'll head to my room now.
Alright, take care.
You too. And who would have thought? Today I managed to achieve a lot. I managed to finally solve a murder. I recovered Cameron. And finally, after so many years, I finally got Knuckles' trust. It felt like a moment that I was waiting for quite a while. And now, even if it is still day, I need a break. But now, with a massive hope beneath my smile, knowing that possibly, if we manage to work together, maybe we will find a way out of here. We just have to hope.
Danganronpa.